Today is part 2 of my 3-part interview with Nick Spindel from Where's the Food Truck. We continue the marketing and social media conversation with more tips to help your food truck get noticed and, above all, get remembered. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're going to love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
Let's talk just a little bit about your app in general. I know we covered it the last time that we talked, but what are the benefits that people get out of using your app specifically and then just in general?
Yeah, I mean, new customers, right? New customers and repeat customers. When you mark yourself open on our app, we're going to send out those push notifications to everybody in town that has our app. And whether another food truck told their customer to download the app, or you told your existing customer or somebody that follows you on social media, hey, check out this app, this is how you can find me, we're going to alert them. Hey, here's a new food truck. They're open, they're ready for your business, and they're nearby. And if it's a new customer, they don't know who you are. Now they've discovered you. And because they love food trucks, they might come out and check you out. Or at least they now know that you're in business. And if it's an existing customer, now they know that you're right nearby, because maybe they were thinking you were on the other side of town today, or maybe they weren't even thinking about eating at a food truck today. But you just shook them with our push notification that's restricted to just nearby users. So you just shook them awake. You go, hey, I don't care what you're doing right now. Think about me. 11 a.m., you're opening up for lunch. They're thinking, what am I about to do for lunch? You want to go grab McDonald's, you want to get Olive Garden, I don't know, whatever. Bzzz. Oh, what was that? Oh, a food truck's open nearby. That is really the strength of our app and our platform as a whole. It's just everything that you're doing. We're trying to drive new and repeat business to you.
If someone was to take the app and, like you mentioned, they have it set to, we're open for business at 11 o'clock and the push notification goes out. Think about if that same food truck also had scheduled on all of their social media at that same point in time, hey, we're open, here's our location. So now that user is getting a push notification from your app, and then hopefully they're getting, the Facebook and Instagram and all the other social media notifications as well. So now they're being told this food truck is serious about getting your business. And,
absolutely,
go down and check them out.
Yeah, and thinking about branding and signage, right? Like the reason that we have this signage on our truck and out on the street to tell people to turn in is because that's how we're telling them, right? Mm-hmm. When you can hit digital through our app and social media, whatnot, you're expanding exponentially the amount of people that you can reach. And social media might hit people, across the world. Well, they can't really do business with you. That's fine. Social media might hit people the day after you're open. That's fine. That's where your branding benefits you. That social media does hit the customer at the right moment who's nearby you, and our app that'll hit that customer at the right moment who's right nearby. That really gets you from line of sight with your signage to, everybody that's near enough to be your customer.
Yeah, a food truck and that line of sight is only going to be at most several hundred people, whereas a social media, like you mentioned, people that are just beyond the line of sight, people that may not even be headed to that neighborhood, but now have a reason to head to that neighborhood because they've gotten those push notifications or they've gotten the reminders on social media. It's very important to be everywhere as much as possible, within the budgetary constraints of whatever your marketing budget is, but you got to be there. Probably one of the things that I recommend most to people is things you've already talked about as far as, scheduling those posts and then being on some type of app where the guest of the food truck is going to get a notification. Those things help tremendously. But I think the link to all of that different things is what you mentioned at the very top of our conversation, branding. People get used to seeing your photographs with your logo on it. They get used to seeing just your logo in general. They begin to make that association with great looking food in the pictures and videos to the food truck itself. And like you said, as they're driving by, they reckon, oh, I've seen that before. And then they know to pull in because they've already built that kind of quasi relationship with you through social media. And then hopefully they're going to become committed and loyal guests and come back several times a week.
Absolutely. Yeah. Recognition in that relationship is what builds your business. And even if they haven't ever tried your food, but they've seen you a bunch, social media, our app, wherever it might be, right? If they've seen you a bunch and then they show up and you're next to a competitor, whether it be brick and mortar or another food truck, whatever it is, if they've never seen that competitor, but they've seen you before, even if they've never tried either of your foods, right? They're going to go to you because people don't like new. And you, at that point, you don't feel new because they've seen you so many times. You're almost guaranteed that business over that new, strange thing that people try and avoid.
In a lot of sales classes and salesmanship classes, they talk about the journey that a client or a potential guest would have. And it always starts with, you got to know, like, and then trust them before you ever buy. Getting to know somebody is going to be through social media because they don't ever actually have to meet you in person or ever be at your food truck, but they can see what kind of business you are by the things that you post. Hopefully it transcends from getting to know you into liking you because they like the things that you post. They like the kind of cuisine that you have. They like the support that you're showing for your community, those kind of things. And so you're kind of knocking out some of those, or some of the journey rather, through the social media. So at the point that they make that commitment, they're going to buy from you because they've already gone through those steps. They already know you. They already like you. They already trust you. And all you do is impress them with your food and your service. So let's take a food truck that comes to you and is really struggling. Let's just say they're a clean slate as far as the marketing aspect goes. What would be your one bit of advice to really help them to turn their sales around and get them going in the right direction on the profitability side?
Well, I mean, we look at what's going on as a whole. Is their logo and branding, does it look good? Is it appealing? Is it clean? Like we talked about. Mm-hmm. What is their presence like online? Do they have accounts? Even on social media, if you have accounts for your business, but they're personal accounts, you're missing key aspects there that can be shared better. So we'll flip those to business accounts. Then how often are they posting? We'll get them into this scheduling software that we use and really ramp up how often they post and the content that they post. Obviously, if they don't have an account on WTF, we put them on there. We make sure that they start using that every time they're open. And then we'll print them business cards that have their info on there, that have WTF app download info on there. Mm-hmm. We'll send them out their way so that they can drop those into every bag that they hand off to a customer. And then that will help with the repeat business. Getting those customers out, getting them back, that's the tough part. And yeah, if, taking a look, if they're not doing enough, if they're not doing it well, there's no right way and wrong way to do it, but there's definitely better ways to do these things. If they're not doing it well, if they're not doing it often enough, then yeah, we'll help with that right away. I really believe in print materials too. A lot of people might think that that's old school, but if you drop a business card into there, a bag for a customer, or if you give them a sticker or, a to-go menu so that they can think about what they're going to get next time, or even consider catering, which we haven't really talked about. But those are the ways to really ramp up your business. And they're so inexpensive.
I'm a big proponent of print stuff as well. It speaks a little bit to my age, but there's something to be said about physically handing somebody something. It may end up in the trash, but most of the time it doesn't, because they take that little, especially a business card. There's a little bit of prestige almost in having a business card.
If they're done right, right? And
exactly.
You know what? Something comes with that too. When people are given something, there's something inside of us, our psyche, that says that we owe something back.
Yep.
Even if it's something as small as a business card, right? You give them a nice business card. It doesn't have to be super nice, just not printed out at your home computer and cut with a pair of scissors, right?
Mhm.
You give them a nice business card, they'll at least feel compelled to hold on to that for a little bit. They won't throw it away right away. Maybe they'll keep it till tomorrow. Maybe it'll be in their pants pocket till next week or something. It'll land on the countertop at home or something. They'll at least see that a couple more times before it hits the trash. And for a penny or two, that's worth it.
Absolutely, it's worth it. What would you consider to be the critical mass in followers that once a food truck achieves that, it becomes a little bit easier to market and sales become a little bit more prominent?
Boy, I just to throw a number out there, I'd say 5,000. But I think a key component to that is engagement. And who are those followers?
Mhm.
Because you could get people that are out of state just following you randomly, or maybe a bot just started following you, right? And these happen all the time. And if they're not engaging and if they're not converting into actual sales, then it doesn't really matter. But in general, I'd say I see food trucks once they hit about 5,000, they do pretty well. They can post on there, just like on our app. If there are like that critical mass of local users, you post on there either on our app or Facebook or Instagram with enough followers, and you'll get some people to turn out. You'll get those people to request you for a catering event when they're looking into something like that, or refer you at least to somebody else. Aim for that and make sure that they're good followers.
Yeah, that is a good point. You got to have quality followers. The one thing about just followers in general is it's a vanity metric. I've got 1 million followers. Well, unless that translates into sales, it doesn't matter what the number is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.